the whole point of a LinkedIn profile is to intrigue your ideal clients to the point where they're going to want to reach out to you to take the next step. And no matter what strategy you're using on LinkedIn, and there are all kinds of strategies, there are strategies for connecting with the right people and getting them to respond to you. There are strategies for messaging, and how you deal with people, and get them, kind of through a series of messages where, by the time that you talk to them, they're really interested in hearing what you have to say, and they're already thinking that you're an expert. So it's simply a matter of talking about, how you're going to work together. So that's one of the big elements, that you want to take into consideration. Another strategy is, how are you going to either, through content or through some other means, create engagement. How are you going to get people involved? So all of those things have their own strategies and their own ways, that they work. But no matter what strategy you're using, it's going to go back to your profile. Because if you are commenting on things in the news feed, people see your headline and they're going to click on that and go to your profile to learn more about you. If you've sent them an invitation to connect, they're going to check out your profile to see whether they want to connect with you. If you have invited them to an event, they're going to check out your profile to see whether you're someone they want to interact with. So all of these things all start and all lead to your profile. So that's why just about anyone that you hear talk about how to optimize your results on LinkedIn is going to talk about your profile, because it's that kind of centerpiece that then takes people to the next step. So let's get started here and go through some of these things. So first, we're just going to talk about some general guidelines, how to interact on LinkedIn. And then we're going to look very specifically at the pieces of content on LinkedIn that promote your brand, because the fastest way to find clients on LinkedIn is by promoting a powerful brand. So you need that piece. We're going to look at some tips on, tips for writing a great profile. We're also going to look at how to get more help with your profile. And I'm going to talk a little bit about a free gift that I'm going to offer to you at the end. And we're also going to look at coming attractions, because I have something coming up next week that I think you're going to be interested in. So a little bit about me, if you haven't been on one of these, and excuse me, even though it's cold outside today, the buds are blooming on the trees because of this crazy weather, and so I'm having allergies. Okay, so I have a lot of education. I come out of a higher education leadership PhD. I did counseling, and did all of those things in higher education. I come from a career development background. That's what I taught, and that's what I worked with students and alums on. I'm a former 7th grade English teacher, which is probably a much better qualification for teaching people how to do things than having a PhD in education. I'm a LinkedIn coach and trainer, and I'm also an executive leadership coach and management coach. So those are just some of the things about me. And I am certified as a master personal brand strategist and digital branding strategist. And so what I do, most of my clients are coaches or consultants or service providers of some kind, and I help them build lead generation systems and sales funnels in LinkedIn based on their personal brands. So that's kind of in a nutshell what I do. So let's talk about just some general guidelines for writing your profile. And that first one I already talked to at the beginning. It's not about you, it's about them. And if you write down one thing today, write that one down. It's not about you, it's about them. And a second one is to write it in the first person using I or we, other, instead of talking about yourself in the third person. You want your LinkedIn profile to let people know a number of things. One, they're in the right place. Two, that you are knowledgeable and approachable and you can help them with their problems. And three, that they're actually having a conversation with you. Because what is going to set you apart and have you stand out from others is, to a large extent, what you're like to work with. People want to know that. So writing it in the first person gives them that sense that they're already having a conversation with you. And that's far more intriguing than a third person thing that reads like a biography or reads like a professional bio. Okay, you also want your profile to address their problems and challenges. So at some place in your about section, you are going to want to identify, you want to ask questions that they're going to be able to relate to. I just got off a Zoom call reviewing a profile with someone, and that's one of the things we did. We pinpointed what the common problems and challenges are of her ideal clients and how to spotlight those in her profile. Okay, you can also see, you also want to spotlight your solutions. So you want to address their problems and challenges, and then you want to talk about your solutions. And you want to focus on this next point, on results. So you could be talking about the common problems they have, what your solutions are, and results. Here's what's going to happen when you work with me. And then finally, you're going to provide them with some guidance. You're going to provide a call to action. And that call to action is something that tells them the next step to working with you. Okay? Because what we know about human nature and what research shows is that when you tell someone what to do, they do it. Okay? If you are afraid to tell them the next step that they need to take to work with you, then you're missing a golden opportunity, because that's where you're going to take them to the next step of the process. Okay, so one of the first, I'm going to show you some slides that show you some different places where you can be doing things. Hey, Facebook user, if you are on Facebook and you want me to see your name, just be sure and go above you. There's a little place where you can click that will allow StreamYard to use your name. Otherwise, it's fine. Just remain anonymous, but let me know. Oh, it's Oh, hi, Tansy. How are you? Great to hear from you. Okay, so the first thing I'm just going to show you real quickly is that when you are in LinkedIn, right under your headline area, there's going to be a pencil, and that's where you click to optimize your contact information. And these are two really simple things that you can do. One is to tailor this first part right here to reflect your name. So LinkedIn has, linkedin.com/IN/ and then all this gobbledygook. So replace that gobbledygook with your name. And if your name is John Smith, and there are a ton of John Smiths out there, then you may have to get a little creative, add your middle name. If that doesn't do it, or your middle initial, or, your degree behind your name, or if you're a coach, or, if you're in a particular industry, something that is going to make you stand out from the fray. Because what I want you to keep in mind is that you is that your LinkedIn profile is some of the most expensive and the most lucrative real estate on the internet when it comes to search engine optimization. If you go to Google and you Google your name in quotes, you want to make sure you do the quotes, because that way it'll be discreet to your name. If you do it in quotes, you will see that your LinkedIn profile is, I can almost guarantee you, going to be in the top 2 to 3 results. Okay, another thing I wanted to point out to you is right here, websites, because you can have up to three URLs in those websites. And by selecting other, you can type in what you want. So maybe you have your calendar link there. You definitely, if you have a website, you want your website link there. Obviously, you can have your blog there. If you're running a program right now, you can have the link to that landing page there. You can get really creative with this and have all different kinds of ways that you optimize it. Now, you may or may not choose to put your phone there. If you don't want to take personal phone calls or phone calls, then don't put your phone number there. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But you definitely want an email to contact you. You definitely want to make a decision about your address. Being a woman, I do not put my home address there because I work out of my home, and I have a family and everything, and I like to keep us sheltered. So I choose not to do that. But you can put whatever you want, and there's a place to put your Twitter handle if you want it, and there's a place for your birthday. Now, you don't have to put your year, okay? I don't even think they have a place for you to put your year. So the reason you want to have your birthday is it gives people another opportunity to interact with you and send you happy birthday greetings. Okay. All right. Branded content. Okay, now by branded content, I mean that content that gives people a hint about your brand. And your brand is made up of a bunch of different things. It's not your tagline, it's not your logo, it's not your brand colors. All of those things reflect your brand, they are part of your brand identity system, but they are not your brand. Your brand is about your vision and your purpose and your values and your passions. It's about your personality characteristics. What makes you tick? Your big why you do what you do. So you want these areas to reflect your brand. Now, my brand includes things like being knowledgeable, and having and being trustworthy. It also includes elements of, people say that I'm very passionate and intense, because I am. I get really passionate about the things that I do, and I just love working with entrepreneurs, and I get so fired up about LinkedIn. So, they're absolutely right. So my brand colors are blue for being knowledgeable and honest and trustworthy and wise. All those kinds of things go with a blue brand. And red, because red stands for passionate and intensity and all those things. So I have incorporated those in my banner. You could put all different kinds of things on your banner. And here's a quick tip. You do not have to pay a graphic designer to do your banner. You can do it for free using Canva. Canva.com. That's CANVA.com. If you are not familiar with it, you can actually go to Canva, and with a free account, you can set up a LinkedIn banner. You just go there in the search bar, you put LinkedIn banner, and it's going to bring up some banners, and they're already the right size. They're already formatted the right way, and you can change the colors. You can put in your logo. You can put in the name of a course that you're doing right now, or a program, or your free gift. You know, you can put any of those things in your banner. So try several out. Okay, try several different banners out and see what you like best, and change them up every once in a while. You know, do what's working for you. That's the best advice I can give you. Now, I have my company logo, and I have what I do, and I have a tagline that I use. But you know what? I'm getting ready to change that and do something with Canva myself. So really go check it out. You have a bunch of options with the free account, and you have other options with the paid account. Okay. So, and Canva, even with the paid account, is pretty inexpensive. I will warn you that Canva can also be addictive because it's a lot of fun. But anyway, that's Canva. Okay, your picture, your photo is another branding opportunity. And it's another opportunity to let people know that you are approachable. Okay, so in your photo, what I want you to do is look directly into the camera. I want you to smile, and really make that eye contact and look really approachable. That's one of the best things that you can do. So, you know, there are a lot of advice. There's a lot of advice out there on how to take a great photo. I have since changed the one that you're seeing in here, but in general, you want it to be a headshot. You absolutely want it to be a headshot. Your head and shoulders should take up about 80% of your area there, of that circle. You should have a neutral background so that it's not distracting people, and be dressed appropriately for the industry that you are in or that you serve. And also, you know, if you're a woman, you know, professional looking makeup, hair. Go with what's typical in your industry. That's a really good guide. You do not have to have a professional headshot. Nobody has to, you don't have to go to a professional photographer. You certainly can. And, you know, they have all those screening capabilities and all that, and they can make you look really great. But you can also just, as long as it's professional in appearance, that's the main thing. Now, you'll see this orange circle around my picture. Now I think they have it in gray, but that means that I have recorded a cover video. Now, a cover video, well, video in general is just about the very best way that you can brand your profile, because it's a 30-second video. That's not very long. And all you can tell people in it is, you know, hey, I'm glad you dropped by. You know, talk a little bit about who you serve, what you do, the results. And thanks again for dropping by my profile. You know, keep reading down below because there's a lot of great stuff there. You're not going to say it in quite that way, but you can only do it from your mobile. You cannot do it on your desktop version. So take a bunch of different shots, and then upload it using the LinkedIn mobile app that you can download on your phone. Okay, and it's a great way to really make that instant connection with people. Okay. Your title, your name and your title is another way to brand your profile. Now, you don't want to, if you're in the coaching or consulting industries, please do not put a whole list of acronyms behind your name, because guess what? People don't know what they mean. All right. So you're just distracting people from what's really important about you. Now, LinkedIn does suggest that you have, you know, educational degrees behind your name, or you can have, what kind of coach you are or what kind of consultant you are. Keep it simple, keep it short. You don't want to do a lot here, just your name and, something very clear but very short that tells people about you. And then in your headline, now your headline is really, really important. And in a minute, I'm going to show you a headline formula. Your headline tells people who you are, who you help. It tells them what you do. You have your title, and it gives people an idea of what the results are of working with you. So let's move on to the headline formula. Okay, this is really, really simple, and I want you to really pay attention and write this down, because if you get this, it's going to take you through a lot of different areas in your profile. So you want to have a very specific title, you want to have your keywords, and then sizzle. So your title is going to be something specific. I see so many profiles where people say CEO or founder. Well, that's great, but CEO of what? Founder of what? What do you do? What can you help me with? So you want to have a very specific title, and you want to use keywords that people are going to use in the search bar to find you. Okay, because those keywords are what bring you up in search results, both on LinkedIn and on Google. And then finally, that sizzle is really your brand statement. It's who you help, how you help them, and what happens as a result. Okay. So I'm giving you a couple of examples here. The first one is mine: Master Personal and Digital Brand Strategist, LinkedIn coach and trainer, helping coaches and consultants land lucrative leads without the sleeves. And if you know me, you know that I really don't like those high pressure sales tactics that you see a lot on LinkedIn. You'll get a lot further by treating people with respect. So let's dissect this. My title is very, very specific. You can look at this and you get a really good idea of who I am. I'm a personal and digital brand strategist and LinkedIn coach and trainer. Now, out of this, personal brand, and they don't have to be together. The words don't have to be together. Digital brand, strategist, LinkedIn coach, and trainer are all keywords. Okay, so those are all terms someone could enter in a search bar. And if you want to check out keywords and check out the relative strength of different keywords, you can take that keyword and go to your LinkedIn search bar, enter a hashtag and that keyword, no spaces, okay? Even if it's a keyword phrase, no spaces. Just, like in my example, hashtag personal brand strategist, hashtag digital brand strategist, hashtag personal brand, hashtag digital brand, hashtag LinkedIn coach, hashtag LinkedIn trainer, all of those, and see how many people are following those hashtags. That's going to tell you a lot about those keywords. Okay, and then what I do, I help coaches and consultants land lucrative leads without having to be sleazy on LinkedIn. So that speaks to what I do, who I help, and how I help them. They're going to get more leads and they're not going to have to be sleazy about it. Okay, here's another example. A lawyer plus certified life coach to lawyers who are over the overwhelm and want to lead lives with less stress and far more fulfillment. Well, is that ever descriptive or what? Do you know what this person does? Absolutely. And they have keywords in there. They're a lawyer, they're a life coach. Both of those are keyword phrases to lawyers. And then their sizzle, they're telling people what they do is absolutely clear. They're working with lawyers who are overwhelmed. They're living lives, that are stressful. And, knowing a few attorneys, I can see where they would want a life coach who could help them with this so that they're living with less stress and far more fulfillment. Very, very clear. Okay, I want to show you a couple of more examples because these are really great examples of branded content. And at the same time, I'm giving a shout out to a few of my colleagues who are also master personal brand strategists. So this is Randy Bussin. Randy is a coach. She's a career coach and executive coach, and she really helps people make that leap into the C-suite. So on in her banner, she has combined pictures of her doing various aspects of working with clients, what she does and how she works with them in individual sessions, in group sessions, how she's always on the go and she's always available, and approachable. She has a great photo here. This photo is, I mean, it's so perfect. She's looking directly into the camera. She is, she is dressed professionally. Her makeup is professional. And she's smiling, this big old approachable smile. And that just makes her, makes it so much easier to reach out to. And when you're looking for a coach, don't you want to see someone who is absolutely approachable? You do, right? And then in her headline, trusted advisor and coach for rising stars, execs, entrepreneurs. Okay. Advisor and coach are both very, very good keywords. And she also has entrepreneurs, which is their rising stars, executives, are all people who would be, absolutely inclined to work with her. And then she tells you exactly what she does. She teaches you how to capitalize on your strength, illuminate your personal brand so that people really get your ROI, and then stand out and open doors. And that's exactly what someone who works with her and is a rising star, looking to get into that C-suite is going to want to know. So perfect example. Okay, another great example is Deb Dib. Now, Deb's brand color, I happen to know, is orange, which means vibrant, energetic. She lights up the room, with energy. And you look at her banner, and you totally get that, don't you? Energy. And just you look at her photo, it conveys the same thing. That smile, is just a big, bold, happy, almost laughing smile. You just get the impression that this woman would just be a ball to work with, which she is. So, and she has behind her name Master Personal Brand Strategist. So see, you can put your title there. Now for her headline: brand storyteller, editor, polisher, writing strategy coach. And I want you to look at that because brand and storyteller are both very, very strong keywords on LinkedIn right now. Editor, polisher, writing strategy coach. These are all great words. And then her headline is perfect. I help busy, gutsy career pros get unstuck, fast, fun, done. Because what she does is she takes the work and the content of career professionals, people who either coaches or consultants or job search coaches, whatever they do in that career area. And she helps them take that raw content and polish it up and make it just sing and make it work the way it's supposed to work. So, that is just a perfect job of branding. All right. Now let's think about the about section. Now, one way to prepare your about section, in fact, some people use this as the actual way to write their about section by putting these, the who, what, where, why, and all of that, in bold, and then answering those questions. So you could have who I help, I work, and so you would have your ideal clients there, what I do or what others say about me. And I want to draw attention to this one because one of the greatest tips I can give you is to take a snippet of a recommendation and put it in your about section. Because when you think about it, people have to scroll all the way to the bottom of your profile before they can answer those, before they can see those recommendations, right? So you could have, like these fabulous recommendations all at the end of of your profile, but they don't get through your about section because recommendations offer social proof that you are who you say you are, that you deliver on your brand promise, and that you are, you're the real thing. So add a little snippet of a recommendation someone wrote for you. Okay, where you've seen me, how you can find me, why, and this is a key element of your about section. You want to include a very short element of your why story. In other words, why you do what you do. And, if you're a weight loss coach, it may be that you dealt with weight issues all of your life until you created this system and started following this process, and that had the results you needed. Okay, so why you do it. I'm on LinkedIn, and I teach people how to use LinkedIn because 8 years ago I fell down a flight of steps and I fractured my pelvis in 5 places, and I literally lost a year of my life. And in that process, I also lost my career coaching business because I just couldn't do it. So I had to make money fast, and I figured out pretty quickly that LinkedIn was the platform where I could do that. And in doing that, I got so excited about LinkedIn and what I was learning in the system I created to help me that I started teaching everybody else about it. And that's an absolute true story. That's my why story. So I invented my system, and I've been doing that ever since. So your why, when you do it, is this a seasonal thing? Do you offer a class? And if so, you can talk about your class and say next class starts on such and such a date, and even have the link to your landing page. People can't click on it in your about section, but they can certainly see it. And right below your headline, this is another little tip. Right below your headline, there is a place to add another URL. And you can set that again up. You can set that up again in your contact section. It's the section. It's the very last thing. And it will give you a place for one more web URL and words you can write. So if you were to look at mine right now, it says apply for LinkedIn mentoring, and it has a little arrow. And if you click on that, it takes you to my calendar link so that you can apply for mentoring with me. So that's a really great place because it tells people exactly what you want them to do. And you can change it every week if you want to. So you want to, if you have something coming up, your about section is a great place to do it, or that link that's right below your headline. Okay, so when you do it, how I help and serve. So this is the meat of what you're offering. So I would suggest that you start off your about section by identifying the the problems and challenges of your ideal clients. Like you might say, let's use the example of a weight loss coach again. And this is, I'm literally making this up as I'm talking to you. So have you struggled with weight issues your entire life? Is it making you reluctant to step into the spotlight and command the professional attention that you know you deserve? Is it causing you? Is it affecting your confidence? Eroding your self-respect? You know, those kinds of things. I'm just, you know, kind of rattling that off the top of my head. But then, you know, say something like, hey, I can help you with that. Or, hey, I get it. I struggled with the same thing, you know, and this is why I developed and that's your solution. You're going to put your solution there. And then I've been teaching this to other people and they've gotten great results too. So, and that might be where your snippet goes. So you're going to finish it up with one call to action, just one. Don't give people a choice because research shows they won't do either one if you give them a choice. So your call to action might be subscribe to my newsletter, download my free gift, schedule a consultation, enroll in my free masterclass. You know, you might have a 3-piece, you know, a 3-video masterclass that they can take that's free and that will give them, you know, an introduction to your services. So it can be any of those things. Does anybody have any questions on this? Okay. All right. So a couple of things I want you to remember about the about section. Know your why. Include your personal brand statement. That's that sizzle part we were talking about. Identify keywords, tell your stories, be crystal clear about your niche. You know, there's a saying, the riches are in the niches. Know who your ideal client is and appeal to them. And if you can't narrow it down yet, if you're new and you're just starting out, at least have a target audience. Research the industries on LinkedIn and have a target audience. Focus on their pain points, what they need. Consider including snippets of recommendations. Present your solutions and tell them what to do next. Okay, let's talk about your featured section for a minute. Your featured section, depending on whether you have creator mode, which we won't talk about today, we just don't have the time, or you're using the standard LinkedIn profile, is still going to have a featured section. And in that featured section, I really want you to use this. You know, I'm going to suggest a couple of things you want in there. You might want to have a recent article or a video. Have something that will introduce them to you. Like if you have a free gift, like you can see, I have on this one, I had my free gift. I believe at that time I was using my LinkedIn checklist. So that was there. I had an article that I'd done and I had, you know, I had a video that I'd done. So you want to have things in your featured section because it will, number one, attract people because they see color on your profile and this attracts them and they look at what you have and what you can do. If you're posting content in the newsfeed, you have the option of pinning that content you can click the 3 dots and pin that content to the top of your profile and it will show up in the featured section. So make use of the featured section. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the experience sections. All right, I'm going to give you four 4 tips for the experience sections, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more. Use the experience sections to highlight different services or niches. Okay. But what I mean by that is that if you have 2 different kinds of services or you serve 2 different kinds of niches, you can put both of those in the experience section, because unlike a resume, your experience section doesn't have to have discrete intervals. They can overlap. So if you have a business, but you target 2 different populations, say you target executives, you also target professionals who want to be executives, you could have 2 different experience sections, same company, but talking directly to those 2 niches. And remember, I said that you want to use a conversational tone. So you're writing your experience sections in the first person too. You want people to feel like you are talking directly to them. Okay, you could also have, if you have 2 different companies, I have Dumont and Associates, which is all about personal branding and digital branding and LinkedIn. I also have Radically Rewarding Careers. I don't recruit, or I don't go out and look for career coaching clients anymore, but occasionally people get referred to me or something like that. So I still have that in there. Okay. Optimize your headlines with your keywords and your brand statement. You're going to use the same formula that I just showed you for your profile headline, and you're going to use it in your experience sections. The only thing is you won't have as much room. Okay, so you're going to have to make it briefer. Your headline for your profile has 240 characters. In the experience sections, I think it's 120. So it's shorter. But you still want to use that formula, because every time you use a keyword, every time you reinforce what you do, it raises you in the search results. So be sure you do that. Emphasize results, more and more results. You always want to talk about results. And this is another great place to insert one of those snippets from a recommendation. And then finally, include a call to action. So remember, I told you could only use one call to action in your about section, but maybe you have several different things. In your experience section, in your call to action section, you might say, download my free gift, or, check out my free masterclass. In your experience section, it might say, subscribe to my newsletter or schedule a free consultation. So you can have different calls to action in different sections. So you don't have to not have any calls to only have one call to action in your profile, just one per section. Okay, other information. You're going to want to fill these out, because the more complete your profile is, the better your results are going to be. The more complete it is, number one, LinkedIn loves a complete profile. So it's going to get you better results in terms of search engine optimization. It's also going to give you more places and more room to put in your skills and endorsements and keywords. There is a section at the very top of your profile. You do not have to have a premium service to do that. At the top of your profile, it's going to say add a section. If you go in there, one of the core sections that you can add is skills. Now, this is different from further down your profile here, where it says skills and endorsements. This is a whole different section, because when you put in your skills in that section, it will give you the option of adding them to all the other sections on your profile. So all the things you're seeing here, education, certification, and licensures, accomplishments, not recommendations and interests, but the other areas, it will actually add your skills to those. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that you have to be following that hashtag. And so put that hashtag, put a hashtag with that skill in your search, in the search bar on LinkedIn, and it's going to bring up that hashtag. Click on it to follow it, and then you can use that section, that add profile section, to add skills to all these other sections. It's really a cool feature. Okay, certifications and education, you want to be really clear. Be sure you have the right name for the major, not just sort of, what was it called? Certifications and licensures, the same thing. Accomplishments is a great place to add things that LinkedIn might not have another place, like you speak 3 languages. Okay, that would be an accomplishment. I saw one person who put that, and she was a career coach. She put that she had been elected mayor based on a damn good elevator speech. So that's a great one. So all of those things, your recommendations, I really suggest, in fact, I strongly urge you to ask for a recommendation once a month. Get recommendations from people who know you from all kinds of walks of life. They could be a previous client. They could be someone who knows you and is a colleague who was in a certification class with you, who has some of those same skills. So ask for a recommendation every month. And then finally, fill out the interests, who you're following, what groups you belong to, what industries you're interested in, because people use those to relate to you and to get to know you. Okay, so some quick tips. Know your niche, and these are kind of a summary for you. Know your niche, use a conversational tone, use that I, and talk in relaxed conversation. I come out of academia. I cannot tell you how long it took me to break academic talk, and one of the things I still have to do is go through after I write something and change it so that I'm using contractions, I'm not using formal language all the time, and just make it a lot more conversational. Use the right keywords. Test out those keywords. Brand your headlines, include that brand statement, who you help, how you help them, and the results. Up your Google juice with images and or video. Google absolutely loves images, and the only thing it loves more than images are moving images. So, take advantage of that. Some more tips. Oh, I used a different size font there. Avoid keyword stuffing. Use keywords where they naturally occur. And do not use keywords in your about section or in your experience sections, either one of those, saying specialty includes and listing a bunch of keywords, because LinkedIn and Google now look at keywords in context, how they're used in the sentence. So you want to be very careful about using keywords. You want to use them. That's why you want to fill up all the sections, but you want them to occur naturally and not chop up what you're saying and making it hard to read. Maximize your branded content. Consider using creator mode, and I'm not going to cover that this time, but you will see people who have used creator mode. Use it if you want to get clients by producing content. And LinkedIn is doing a lot of emphasis on that. It's not the only way to get clients, but it's definitely one of the ways to get clients. Optimize your profile with multimedia and include your appointment calendar in your website links. All of those are tips that can get you more clients. Okay, I wanted to, and I will be sending out the replay, folks. So if you don't get this right now, that's okay. I'm sending out the replay, and I will have the link to the checklist in here. This is my LinkedIn profile checklist. It takes you step by step how to do your profile on LinkedIn. And when you opt into that, Don't just opt in and then opt back out, because I start sending you tips and tools that you can use to improve your profile. So, be sure to hang around and get the rest of that, because it's all good stuff that will help you out. Okay. Coming attractions. Next week at this time, I'm doing Build Your Brand in Bits and Bytes. This is my master class. It's a 3-hour class. I will be talking about how to build a powerful brand and then how to promote that on LinkedIn. So you will be getting more information on the profile. You'll also be getting information on how to brand your profile and promote it on LinkedIn to get more folks. And this is the last time I'm offering this for free. Okay, so please, if you have buddies that you want to make sure they see this, let them know that this is the last time it's going to be free, and and that they can sign up now and they won't have to pay for it. You can contact me by email. You can contact me on my profile. Just go to my profile, click more, because I have creator mode, and that means click more. And there will be a drop down menu there where you can click connect. And when you do that, enter the note. It gives you the option of entering a note, and just put, saw your LinkedIn profile live stream this week, would love to connect with you. And I will write right back and connect with you. And then, or at least I will get back to you within the 48 hours. And then finally, you can download the checklist. So any of those are further tips that you can get to help out. So kind of went through that really fast, but I had a lot that I wanted to tell you about. Does anyone have any questions right now? I'm looking to see if we had any questions. No, and I see, hey, yeah, I think she left, but always happy to get testimonials. If you want to write me a recommendation, hey, I'd be happy to get it. Certainly I will truly, truly appreciate it, and will definitely notice and get back to you. So enjoy your week or your weekend. It's it's the weekend in a few hours, so enjoy your weekend. If you have some time to just work on your LinkedIn profile a little bit, get it, start working on it, start getting it into great shape. So then when I tell you about all these great strategies, you've got your profile ready to go. Okay, this is Dumont Owen saying, ta-ta for now.